So from my perspective, definitely a lot of learning, chatting, talking to people. I was seeing so many of you just exchanging also after the presentations. And I think this is what the event was planned to be for the community and for you to gather to learn from each other and just to connect maybe and see some friends, even friends maybe you have never actually met in person and now are turning into real humans that you are meeting for the first time. So that also to me, by the way, was great, seeing some faces actually in front of me for the very first time. Now we have one last topic on one last session on our agenda, as you were able to see, and we will talk now, or not we, Ceci will actually talk about how we can expand our comfort zone. We decided to maybe have a bit of a different talk. And as Ceci is ready to go, let's help me, or please help me in welcoming her on stage. Ceci, come on. All right.
Thank you very much. All right. Hi, everyone. Okay. So first, let me start with a quick intro because I don't know if many people know me. So just to kick things off, very lighthearted. I'm originally from Argentina. I did grow up in the US. I lived there for about 10 years, and I've been in Germany since 2014. My Deutsch ist nicht so gut, aber alles gut. I am married, no kids, and I have a dog. So I am what is known as a dinkwad. Does anybody know what a dinkwad is? You know, with a dog. That's the added value with a dog, as you can see in my pictures. Not anymore? Okay. I did study translation. So I'm an English-Spanish translator. Some of you might ask, what am I doing at SAP then? Nothing to do with translation. So I'm a product manager. I've been in this BTP space for almost 8 years now, and part of the central product management team for the platform. So if you have any questions about BTP, you can ask somebody else. But basically, I would characterize myself as very outgoing, extremely passionate, sometimes a little bit too much. I can get in very heated discussions about things that I'm passionate about, but again, it's all good-hearted, and we try to keep it light and fun. And what I wanted to talk to you guys about today is expanding your comfort zone. So in all transparency, this is a talk that I gave last year in November to the Women in Tech audience. And it was really to encourage and inspire women in technology to get out of their comfort zone, go on stages, do presentations, don't be afraid, don't step back. And that was the goal of the presentation. So I tried to adapt it a little bit to make it more a little bit of a community flavor. But we'll kick things off still with the basics. So for example, what's a vector engine? That what I'm going to talk about today? No, because I have no freaking clue what a vector engine is. You can ask Thomas. I have no idea. Let's go. What's a comfort zone? So a comfort zone, as you can see in these pictures, is a place where you feel safe. So of course, my dog is the highlight of everything that I do. You'll see him throughout the presentation. I hope you enjoy. If you don't enjoy hearing me talk, you'll at least enjoy the pictures. And this is basically the only thing that I updated from the presentation in November, my dog's pictures, just to make sure they're the latest and greatest. But back to the comfort zone. So it's a place where you feel safe. It's where you don't have to spend a lot of energy because you know what you're doing. You don't have to think about everything. Your mind isn't constantly going, should I move here? Should I move there? Oh, love it. Pictures of my dog all over the internet. Please tag me if you post them. But yeah, it's basically where your normal state, right? Where you're really conserving energy. So if you think of your day-to-day job, what you're really comfortable doing, that's your comfort zone. And if you think of your day-to-day life, your comfort zone is basically where you don't have to put any extra effort in. The problem is if we're constantly in our comfort zone, are we stimulated enough? Are we growing? Are we really truly happy? And are we learning more about ourselves day to day? Are we truly growing? The answer is probably no. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about what else is out there. So what's the unknown? If it's not your comfort zone, what zone is there? So when I was doing my research last year, there were a lot of theories out there about different types of zones and what it means, if they're 2, if they're 3, if they're 6, if they're 8. I read about one that basically highlighted 4 different zones, right? So of course you have your comfort zone. It's where you feel it's your safe space where there's really low effort. It's, your kind of your day-to-day activities. There is low effort, but there's also probably low reward. You're not really getting much out of what you're doing in your comfort zone. And I'm going to highlight a few kind of personal examples to make it very clear. So I'm a person that loves hiking, right? I enjoy being outdoors. I enjoy walking. I enjoy exploring new places. But I'm also like what people would call terrified of heights. So being in very high places and kind of, or like a cliff and looking down is just, now it breaks me, right? So of course, hiking, being in high places, it kind of goes hand in hand. But my comfort zone is definitely a normal hike. So last year, my husband and I, with our dog, of course, we take him everywhere. We were in the Highlands, and we went up. So this is actually in Wales. It's not the Highlands. It's not Ben Nevis. This is Snowdon. Same difference, right? But basically, we were hiking, walking up the trail. It's all perfect, right? It's of course it's strenuous. It's physically strenuous, but it's something that I'm used to. It's basically just walking upwards. You're going with everybody. It's very nice, very simple. Totally, totally, totally my comfort zone. If we move on to the stretch zone, so this is something that raises a slight challenge. It's something that you think you can accomplish, right? It's a little bit outside of your comfort zone, but if you make a few modifications or if you give the tiniest bit of effort, you're going to be able to accomplish it. And that's why it also has a high success rate. So my dear husband, we're in Austria, and he's like, I have the greatest idea. We could rent electric mountain bikes. We could take them with the gondola up the mountain, and then we can just ride down. I'm like, cycling, sure. I mean, I know how to ride a bike. It's an electric bike, so the effort level is not going to be that crazy. And I'm sure it's not going to be like straight down, right? It's not going to be like this cliff that I'm just going straight down. Well, turns out there are various different paths that you can take when you're up there, right? You have the blue paths, which are the very nice kind of meadowy paths. So you're just cycling along and everything is fine, no stress level, nothing. And then you have the red paths, which are just basically you're going down the mountain basically like this, right? You're at an incline and you have to make sure that you don't hit any rocks and everything like that. And my husband's like, let's do a red one. It's in the middle. It's not the black one, right? It's the red one. It's going to be fine. It's going to be perfect. Let's do it. We start along that path, freak out. Like I basically got off the bike. I'm like, I can't do this. The bike is super heavy. I'm looking down. There are rocks everywhere. There are people. I have to stop. I'm going to fall. No, that totally. So I totally choked. It wasn't a stretch. It was a choke. The cycling part on the blue path could totally do it. Got up. We basically decided to do different paths and meet up at the same location. He got there super fast because he went on the red one. I took a long way around the mountain on the blue path. We met up at the same place. We ate our dessert. All good. The risk zone. So this is something that is completely unknown. It's something that is totally new. It's something that you've never really done before, and you don't really know how to accomplish it. Right? So it's something, for example, if you are a developer and you're always coding and you're always kind of there creating and developing, and then somebody comes in and says, hey, do you want to speak at an event with 1,000 people? It's like, whoa, I've never done that before. I don't know. I might be a little bit freaked out. But it's not something impossible, right? It's something that could be an option. In my case, again, my dear husband, who's kind of a daredevil, he's like, you know what we should do next? We've hiked up a mountain. We've rode down a mountain on our bikes. Why don't we do Via Ferrata? And that's, I don't know, does anybody know what that is? Has anybody done Via Ferrata before? Right. So you're basically on the side of the mountain, right, with these iron things hanging out, and you just have to like walk on it's nothing, the mountain, and these iron rods that you have to kind of connect with. Of course, we didn't do it, we didn't go solo, right? So we booked a tour with a guide, and you have a harness and all like these safety measures and a helmet, and you're going through these designated places, and he's telling you exactly where it's slippery, where it's not slippery, what you should do, blah. So you get all these details, right? But you're still there by yourself. You still have to unhook and hook the carabine all the time and make sure that you're not falling. And I was really proud of myself because I was doing really good, right? It was a 3-hour tour. It was called the Extreme. It was a 3-hour tour, and we're like, okay, yeah, we were an hour in, all good. This is super easy. I mean, not super easy, but I can do it, never done it before, but I can try it. And then the guide looks at us and says, great, So that was the easy part. Now comes the fun part. And my face just went white because basically we had to cross the mountain. Like it was called the wire bridge. So it was basically a wire. I mean, you had a wire on the top, wire on the bottom, wire on the top, and you had to connect your carabin at the top and then just kind of walk across the wire. So you were held by the harness theoretically, but there was nothing underneath, right? And you had to have a lot of like arm strength to be able to carry yourself across. So completely white, but to be honest, like there was nothing else I could do. We were there, we were up the mountain, we were a group of 10 people. You can't go back. You have to move forward. Move forward, crossed it, best experience ever. Would I repeat it? I don't know, but it was definitely a really, really nice experience. And that shows that what appears to be a risk, what appears to be completely outside of your comfort zone, what appears to be something that you could never be able to manage is possible if you just give yourself the opportunity, right? And you say yes, and I mean, I had, let's say, the safety, the safety blanket of having the harness and all the security measures in place, but that could be the people around you, right? That could be the community. If you want to try something new, I'm sure you know somebody that is experienced in that area and that could probably give you some pointers. Let's go to the choke. So high risk, high reward, right? I mean, I think we know this from the movies. And this is something where you would never imagine yourself, like never imagined yourself being at all. So again, in my case, going back to the heights issue, we're doing this really, really easy, pleasant hike. We reach this kind of we reach a waterfall, and then we had the hike on, or like the map on our phone, and it was like, oh, you need to cross the river. And I'm thinking, cool, we need to cross a river. There's probably a bridge, right? Well, no, not exactly. So basically what they had was, again, my dreaded wires you basically had to walk on the wire like a tightrope kind of thing. You had to walk on that to cross to the other side to continue the hike without getting wet, right? If you didn't want to swim, you had to cross it. You had to cross it that way. So here, no harness, no safety measures, no helmet, no guide, no nothing. So just basically me and kind of relying on myself to be able to cross and not be able to fall and not break my head. How many of you think that I crossed the river? You guys are adorable. I did not make it. This photo is of me going backwards, back to the safe space. Like there was no chance that I would have been able to cross that river. I did finish the hike though. I just got wet. I mean, there was a place where the water was really low, so I just got wet and crossed the river. But that goes to show that you don't always have to succeed to step out of your comfort zone, right? It doesn't matter if you are able to accomplish that to 100% of your abilities. Maybe the next time that I encounter such a situation, I'll be a little bit more confident in myself and my abilities, and I'll be able to cross it because I already took those first initial steps. And it's something that 10 years ago, so before having gone through the experience of, cycling down a mountain or doing Via Ferrata, all these things, I would have never even tried. I would have never even gotten on the bridge. I did get on the bridge, and that counts for something, right? It's just that extra step of, okay, being able to finish the journey. So all that to say, like in a nutshell, what I want you to kind of take away from this talk is don't shy away from new opportunities because you're scared. Don't let fear dictate any of your choices. If you want to do something, you can do it. At least you can try to do it. And if you fail, you fail. You can try again, right? And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But at least you gave it your all and you were able to continue. So in the essence of community, it could be being a speaker. So submitting a talk, for example, for one of these community-led driven events, hosting a community-driven event. I mean, I'm sure you guys came from all over, right? And you have local communities and local places where you could enrich or bring up or create your own space within those areas. So take the chance, do it. There's nothing to lose. There's only things to gain. And something that I always like to say is that you're going to miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. And even if even if only one goes in, that's still one more than you would have if you hadn't taken the chance. So just don't be afraid and of course, lean on all the people around you. And that's it. So that's what I wanted to share with you today.
Thanks a ton, Ceci. That was truly inspiring, and I think many haven't expected that that story will turn into that direction. Actually, what I have learned is that we should talk about my next upcoming hikes. Actually, I'll be in Switzerland, and it's serious climbing, so
Okay.
maybe you want to join. Could
Maybe.
be a bit of a risk for you, probably. But also, I think, and that's one cool thing you actually mentioned. In the beginning, I said that Hana Tech Con was originating from Hana Tech Night, which is like a local event. And we've now grown into such a big community. And we can just like also encourage you to take the spirit of today with you. And if you are interested in running local community events, bringing people together, reach out to us, reach out to people that basically made this event today possible because they know how to set up community events, and we would love to expand our community even further. Ceci, again, big thank you. And I have one little like symbol of thank you for you, which we have prepared. Just some sweets.
Thank you.
Don't
so
share it with your dog. Probably it's not good for him, but
Thank
enjoy it. And it was great having you. Thank you so much,
you.
Ceci.